goduka ngayithala ngoma ndakhumbula umngane wami lekude le elisikisiki kwaphepha bathi ngubhala ngudududu mhlawumbe onalo intshaya le baninzi abantu endibakhumbulayo yemabhathana hayi mntam ndimile kule ndawo endikuyo ham kuguga kathazo ebhesini mani thina umathintana ngale ngumntamantombana mna andimthiyi uhlale lapha exa kwam yemantombana kuthe ndingathanda ukuva nje
Masibulele kakhulu ukuthi uzobona noko ithe yafudumala indlu nami ngeke ndazeva ndigijima apha endlini ndijikeleze ndilibele uba andisekho semakhaya. Enkosi kakhulu. Le program yethu ke bethuna isebenza simane siyixokomezela ngoba zintathu ezi programs karhulumente zenzeka apha eMthatha. So njengangokuba sizawucela into yobana njengoba seyenzile le group besilindile uba sizawubiza uMr Masekwana wase-Provincial Treasury. But before sonyuse yena kuyabaluleka uba izi-structures zorhulumente ezikhoyo siyazo. Phakathi kwethu ukhona utata uPhumelele Ndamase olilungu nyusa yena utata uFaku azosinika i-input yakhe ezilungu leParliament yeprovince ekhoyo before siproceed neprogram yethu, because naye he's also scheduled to go and participate kula program ka-Public Works ifama iyaqala ngoku. So ndicela xa singaphosisanga Maseko ndicela uba uFaku aze ngaphambili. uFaku.
Program Director, ingxaki ke ndilimpondo ngoku sizawungavani kakuhle kuba mhlanga phambili kwakunye noComrade weMC uGade kwakunye nayo yonke ipolitical leadership elapha namhlanje, as well as take the opportunity to greet the Acting Superintendent General uDr. Nugu kwakunye nayo yonke administrative leadership both from the province as well as the district. Ndisatsho ke ndithi ndithathe lithuba eyokuthetha ebantwini abazisiXhosa wena usazi isimpondo. Into edla ngokwenzeka ke kuba esimpondweni asinalo thina intshontsho lehagu, sinetikani lehangu isemtshita. Intshontsho sinalo enkukhwini kuphela thina. So when I start speaking English, it is because I'm trying to mask the mpondo in me and try to be able to communicate with yourselves at a level that we are going to be able to understand each other. Because the danger of speaking over people's heads is that those people will continue to say, ubesithini, because uthethe isimpondo kwabe kungekho toliki. Now, in an attempt, Mfundisi, to be able to come to your levels, and all those that are residing beyond the amakoloni thina njengamampondo, and siyabazi uba bangabantu abanamaqhinga kakhulu, so kufuneka sibe careful when we interact with them. Be that as it may, they are our own relatives. If you can dig deeper in what happened kulo mhlaba kaNgubengcuka. My message that Mahili lo, message yami inye that Mahili, in case ungandiva, ukuba kukho umsebenzi owenzelwa egameni labantu abatsha, uOliver uthi ngamabhubesi amancane, those are the young lions, and therefore we may be able to categorize them within the age groups of 16 and 35, and it doesn't happen with us. Abantu abatsha emampondweni baba na 60 abanye, and there was no trouble when we called a meeting of the youth when the ANC was unbanned in 1990, and in the midst of those kwakukho umphathi wonombola, and umphathi wonombola was 65 years old, and he was deadly sure that he is a youth because ungumphathi wensizwa, and there is no way that you can be able to lead an army yabantu ababomvu ungelilo ulutsha. Now nina ke eyenu youth in a limit, and therefore we must be able to speak within the context of the limit. And I've been called to make a message of support here on behalf of the legislative arm of the state, because as we know that the Constitution enjoins us to be 3 arms of the state: the executive, the legislature, as well as the judiciary. And they have separate responsibilities. And that is why we are always very careful that difficult balancing act, and make sure that we don't encroach each other's terrain. And therefore, in the context of MEC Gade, or executive arm yena, and we are the legislative arm, I send this message before I sit down, that there are 3 things that we would like to leave here from the point of view of doing oversight, of doing public participation, as well as in the context of the lawmaking. Is that there is, I thought Mfundisi Fetcher ukhona apha. I said kwenye meeting ekhona, there is this Indian guy who is now an Australian, but of course he is of Indian descent because he is an Indian. And the second thing is that this same man was born in Uganda, Mfundisi. And therefore this is a person who is some kind of a very confused individual who happens to be a motivator. He has this to say: whenever a conscientious person, perhaps that's a revolutionary person, is about to die, there are 3 questions that that particular person must ask. And I want to leave those questions here in the context of making this message of support. And those questions are the following: did I live wisely? The second one, did I love well, Comrade God? And the third one is, did I serve greatly? And ngosengiqala ukwehlika nima apha, kodwa ke mandizame ukuhlala apha kubanza ungavakali when I'm on the other side. Comrade Gade, this is a matter of living as well as a matter of loving, and lastly the matter of serving. And these are huge responsibilities, because there is more to living than breathing. And all those that have been exposed to the scientific side of things in terms of how the body of a human being works, they know that even plants, they breathe. And we can never stand here and think into ephefumulayo iyenza lonto ibe iye yaphila. There is more to living than breathing. That's number one. And number two is that the question of love. And people think that they are lovey-dovey when they hug each other. And one argument is that there is more to loving than hugging. How many of your enemies are hugging you every day and stab the sharpest knife at your back? So you can never guarantee that if people hug you, that means they love you. That's not possible. Of course, it could be a bonus if those that hug you on a daily basis, they also love you. There is also a risk where they may be hugging you 10 times a day while they hate you 20 times a day. And that's a very difficult mathematical context that I'm trying to paint here. So, even those who believe that a day without love is a day without life, they have the capacity of hating at some point in time. And lastly, it is the question of service. Service yenzwa zii-servants, not masters. And my good principals, I assume that there are principals here. Ukukhonza, ukhonza izicaka. And if you can dare think you are a master in a school, because I once met principals that are saying, the SG, yes, isikolo, him is superintendent general. And if we allow that kind of a thinking, we're therefore saying to an EDO, we SG, yes, sekete. And we're saying to the district director, we SG, yes, district. And that can create a problem. You can never have 3 or 4 accounting officers. In terms of the law, there is one person who is called an accounting officer, and that person does not have a deputy. And therefore I'm saying the matter of serving has nothing to do with praise singing. There are people who are very worried about all like bangapi we post ye wall yakhe ka Facebook. You may go around specializing on putting all likes to people that you think you have a responsibility of hero worshipping. Niyabamosha abo bantu. If MEC posts there, I say nothing because I have no duty to praise sing him. And if I dare do that, the problem is that he's going to meet other people abangazunqwala xa bembona, and he would think abanambeko ababantu because ndiqhele ukunqulwa, and therefore people have a duty to do praise singing, and praise singers have a responsibility to sing praises. Ayikho enye umsebenzi wabo. Even if uyoyela principal, they will say hurrah, uprincipal wethu woyela kakuhle. So we better understand that there is more to serving than hero worshipping. Let me not delve, Chair, because I may be taking a lot of time. Let me sit down with a message that says that have specialized in the leadership world, where they have studied this thing called leadership. They know that there is something called servant leadership. And in this day and age, Comrade Gade, we call upon leaders to be servant leaders. And leaders must not wait until they are appointed assistant directors to be a leader. You can be an assistant director and continue to lead. You don't have to be something more than an admin officer. You all have a responsibility to lead wherever you are. And one is saying, in supporting this endeavor that is targeting the youth of our country that are in serious challenges, is that can we all become servant leadership? And there are only 3 things that you can demonstrate when you are a servant leader. Eyokuqala, humility. Because there is nothing that warrants you to think abanye abantu umkhulu kunabo. UDr. Nuku will continue to be an SG, even if unabe ngasesibayeni. And there is nothing that is going to take anything away from you when you have humility. And the second one is to make sure that you take precedence in making other people's business your growth, your responsibility. You prioritize other people's growth, people that are around you are growing. And the last one is stewardship. And there is no way you can lead people. And there is nothing that you are going to lead, you are going to lose, and you are going to gain more when you go down and condescend to their level. They are going to put you up, and you are going to go higher by going down. And that's a very difficult scientific argument that one makes, that as you go down, they will take you, fly to the skies, because they become the wind below your wings so that they can carry you behind your horizon. You are supported by the legislative arm. Thank you very much.
Siyabulela kakhulu u-Honorable Phumelele Ndamase. Enkosi bawufaka siyabulela kakhulu. Masemkhuleni masingamqhwabeli othi siyampraise. Masimiyeka ahambe singabe samqhwabela. Ndimamele ibambile imessage. Socela ke ngoku sizoba nendawo ye-economic value, importance of the department taking the lead and the capacity to spend within the confinement of legislation. Sangancediswa yi-Provincial Treasury, ingathi ke bebesithumelele uMr. Masekwana. Ndiyamcela ke asondele ngaphambili azosithela gqaba lo ndawo sizawuqhubeka sibheke phambili neprogram yethu. Oh God. Okay, I've just been silently informed that abakafiki. So ngizawucela imvume yenu ba proceed to the next item, which is that's where we start getting ukhona inhlanganiso engenye bangasemva. Oh yes, so a reflection on the third phase of this project, yes, so launch of phase 4 wayo. We are going to have representatives from the Eastern Cape Education Advisory Council. We are also going to have reps, the unions, ESGB associations, student formations, and the ELRC. Leo Qebele formation el gama liyandibhida because ulwimi lami luqinile yayo. So ngizocela abantu basondele ke ngokunukwabo so that siqhubeni. Ramnyama. Because indawo yenu ngokuleni. Eastern Cape Education Advisory Council. Okay. Man ben ngicela ewe ma'am. Ma'am? Yes, so wena umele i-labor union ne? Umele i-labor union. Okay, sabe sifumana ke indawo kumama kule ndawo ye-labor unions uthi ke umele